Welcome, friends. I'm going to walk through a little detox realignment. I'm playing some yoga music and hopefully my speaker's working well. Just going to release the toxins from the hands, squeezing as you exhale. Release the toxins out of the hands. Start to sway on the feet, from the left side to the right side. Inhaling deep. Switching and exhaling. Move and sway. I'm going to try to push the blood around into every single muscle. So freedom in your own movement is how you attain the right kind of balance. So connecting to what feels good and what needs work. I'm Caroline. I've been coaching for like 15 years now, and I was in the U.S. Army as a kiddo. Thankfully never got an injury that anyone can see, and started having a family, and coaching was my passion that I could still do while I was having babies. So I've done triathlons, I've done lots of half marathons, and so what I like to pay attention to is cross training. Focused on working everything instead of focusing on one part of the body, and it's full love to every single part of us, and making sure that your pleasure center and your neural pathway with the work that we do for our body, just shifting the weight from hip to hip, weights in the heels, using the hands as a brace on the legs. We don't want to go ahead and straighten them. We just want a slight bend, getting the lower sacrum ready. So the whole point is to be fit for life forever and create a routine that's balanced for your work-life balance and your family, but making sure that you do something to keep your energy up. And how you do that is you use your energy. So just finding our flexibility, and then I'm going to go through some alignment moves. Finding the floor, shifting weight from the feet, using the toes to grab into the mat, thinking about all the ligaments and attachment points in the feet, thinking about the heels that hit the ground first. They're strong and mighty. We're going to lift our toes up to the ceiling, shifting the weight into the left side of the feet and then over into the right sides of the feet, using the mat, shins, knees, whatever you're comfortable with. This is all about finding what works for yourself. I'm just a map. I have a map that I follow, and I'm showing you my map, and so I hope that you learned something that you like and that you start to make your own map. So I'm going to just do some walks, and I'm going to warm up my shins and my knees. So I'm going to pull my toes up to the ceiling, and I'm just going to step, short step, slowly balancing heel to the pads of the feet. Not rolling up onto the toes yet, but just getting the bouncers woken up by taking these small, steady steps, and all those attachment muscles and ligaments and bones. Just paying attention to those, paying attention to the hands and wrists, sending energy there. And we're going to walk backwards, but we're going to walk on our heels, just our heels backwards. Slow little steps. Getting all those bouncers and muscles ready, saying, hey, we're going to push some flow before we start to work. Walking back on the heels. Now we're going to go backwards on the toes, just on the pads of the feet, not the tippy toes, but walking backwards. And we're going to come back forwards with these small steps on our toes, waking up the calves, knees, inhaling and exhaling as you see fit, making sure to re-cleanse your body if you like to do that. Okay, we're going to come to a nice, comfortable stance. We're mostly going to pay attention to being aligned with our hips and shoulders. So heels, um, we're not going to have them close together anytime I'm doing work with you, because this is actually not a good posture because of stresses. So we want the heels down under the hip sockets, which are right in line with the shoulders. And we're going to start to do little hip circles, just teeny tiny little hip circles, making sure that you're exhaling on the back, inhaling in the front, exhaling on the back. We're going to do 8 of everything, the infinity sign. Pushing your limits and going a little further with what feels comfortable for your hip flexors. Not going over the sides of the hips. Nice circle. Here we go. So I think that's 7, 8. Staying nice and tall. Lifting up the hands, pulling the elbows back. Doing some turns, and then we're going to do the other side circles. Pushing the weight into those trapezoids down on our lats. Firing the muscles. And here we go. Circles the other direction. Nice slow. So waking up the sacrum as you go back. Exhaling. Inhaling. 5, 7, so good. 8. We're going to do a little lat stretch, so I'll step back a little bit, but you're going to grab on the outside of your arm, and we're going to lean over to the right side. And as we lean, we're slowly just going to pull these arms away from each other. Heels are directly under the hips. Body's nice and tall, and we're just going to slowly lean over to the side and pulling the left away from the right. Inhale. Exhale a little deeper. Come back to center. Inhale and exhale. Here we go. Other side. Grabbing on the outside of the right arm. Leaning over to the side. Pulling the arms away from each other. You can feel it from your tricep all the way down to your hip flexor through the lats. And come back to center. Shaking out the hands. We're going to push our hands right here behind us. Hands just interlaced, and we're just going to push our hands out behind us, standing nice and tall. And we're going to roll our shoulders back together. Taking a nice big inhale. Exhale, relaxing. Now here's my favorite, because I'm a swimmer. I love swimming. We're going to put our hands right on top of our shoulders, making sure to balance those hips right under, heels under the hips. So we're just going to do nice little circles with our elbows, like sidewall circles. And we're not going to start twisting yet. We're just going to wake up our shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful work. Always checking in. And now here we go. Starting to twist and wake up all the intercostal space. Feeling the lungs fill up into those spaces. Two more, or however many you like. This is for you. Backstroke. Now I'm extremely mobile because I have always done work ever since I was a little one. Here we go. Nice. Inhale. With the hands together. We're going to push our hands together. Activate those triceps, shoulders, chest muscles. Come to your heart and just be thankful for the health that you have. And being present is your gift today. Inhale. Now we're going to interlace our fingers, but push our palms out and away from us, right in front of the shoulder socket. So they're not up or down, they're just right in front of the shoulder socket. We're going to roll our shoulders to the front or the side wall. Take a nice big inhale and relax. Now we're going to do a forward fold, and then we're going to turn that forward fold into low squats. So we're going to start by making sure that we have support for this lower back as it wakes up, because you never want to go into flexion immediately. You just want to give yourself a break, kind of wake up the hamstrings, because the hamstrings are what pulls on the glute, and the glute is what pulls on the sacrum. So we're going to warm all that up before we give it any type of flexibility. Walking down to past the knees, keeping the back nice and straight, that 90-degree angle. Your heels are, the weight's in the heels, and the toes are lifted to the ceiling. Taking a nice big inhale and exhale, just folding as you would wish. Making sure that nothing feels tight but visited. And we like to say that anytime you're doing stretching, it is not about pain. You do not want to push yourself to the stretch reflex. That's when your body stops listening and starts doing its own thing. And relaxation is the gift of flexibility, is just waiting through breath and through patience. And you will get further that way than pushing yourself. So now I'm putting the weight in my heels, toes still lifted. Now I'm going to bend my knees and start to wake up the glutes. Weight still in the heels. See how my knees aren't going over top of my toes, but I'm using my hands on the mat. Now I'll put the camera down. Here we go, keeping the weight back here. Slowly going to drop down, back up. Waiting for the hamstrings to wake up. I've been very active lately and I haven't checked in. P.S. My baby had surgery today and he is healing up and sleeping. He got a G2 placement today and he's doing great. And so my energy is restored and my baby is okay. Here we go. Low, low, low. Holding where your strength is. And then slowly relaxing the spine, C-shaped spine, dropping the butt down. And now we're going to do a couple lifts. I'm going to do a couple lifts. So my back is relaxed right now. My shoulders are on the inside of my knees. Heels are a little bit outside of my hips, but that's for support. It's all up to where your flexibility, mobility is at. So if you can get in this position, great. If not, I just would like you to just go ahead and stay in a forward fold and keep pushing the weight around and just find comfortability in that. So I'm going to sway and wake up all the ligaments in my hips and get comfortable with that. Now that I'm nice and relaxed, I'm going to lift my shoulders up and hold and exhale. We're working our back. We're rubbing the intercostal space, releasing the fascia. Holding, exhaling all the air out of your tummy. Hands into the earth, feet into the earth, connecting the circuit to Mother Earth right now. Focus on your breathing, and as we inhale, we're going to lift our chest. And exhale. Great job. Inhale. And hands on the mat. We're going to go ahead and start to lift our booty. And we're going to keep our knees right from going over top of those toes. I'm going to always say it. So put your hands wherever you need to. This is one of the most important things, is being able to get off the ground with your own strength. Not having to use your hands, but being able to go ahead and be in a squat or being on the ground without using your hands is very important. So add 10 years onto your life if you can do this. So we're going to work on it. I'm going to keep on working on it, and always never going to stop. So weights in the heels. You're sending energy right to your glutes. You're pulling your core, and chest is staying lift. All of these muscles right here that you're working are the important ones that we're going to train to be able to not hurt, right? That's the whole point. Here we go. And we go up, keeping the weight back in the butt, slowly standing up. All the way deactivate the hip flexor. And here we go, back down, pushing the butt back, weights in the heels, nice slow squat. Intelligent muscle fibers happen whenever you're connecting to the area and giving it strength, keeping the chest open to the side wall. And then you're going to relax all the way. Give in to the earth, connect your hands and feet. Giving all those muscles a little break, and here we go. Lifting up and standing, keeping that chest lifted to the front wall. Here we go. Relax. Whether it's good morning or good night, this can be used any way you like, any time of the day. Perfect. There we go. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance work. So we're going to start from the back to the front, because I always start from the front to the back. Heels nice and placed. And we're going to balance on our left side with our right foot. We're going to push our knee backwards, balancing, and coming around in a nice little circle. Keeping the foot off the ground too. Feeling that hip socket, being thankful for that rejuvenation and the energy and love for the visit. 3 more. 3. Pushing yourself. Ooh, yeah. I haven't been practicing, obviously. Here we go. Beautiful. Taking a nice balance break. Shifting the weight into hips. Feeling the shoulders loosen. Back is relaxed. Here we go. Now we're going to stand on our right foot. Everything's aligned. And we're going to send the left foot back in slow circles. Working the balancers on that bottom foot. Core is nice and pulled in. Back and around. Just going to do knee ones. Working the hip, the glute, hip flexor. 3 more. Last one. Ooh. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Shift the weight. Lift the toes up. Shifting the blood into all parts of the feet. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to stand sideways, because this is what I would like to do. Actually, forward. So just a nice wide stance. And we're going to go ahead and push the butt back and do the same thing. Walking down the heels, finding movement. Toes up to the ceiling, heels dug in, knees not going over top of the toes. Shifting from knee to knee. Looking at the hamstring. Tight. If it's tight, you got lower back tightness more than likely, because that glute is the biggest muscle in your body. And if that's tight, then it's pulling on your sacrum and it's pulling on your femur. There we go. Folding whenever you'd like. Coming nice straight back, 90 degrees. That's what keeps the stretch in the hamstring, is keeping that back straight and tilting the hips towards the quad. Fold whenever you feel the need. I'm going to shift weight into my hands. I like to get low, shift into my heels, push my groin open, come into a wider squat, keep my chest lifted, bring weight into the hands, finding your flexibility, releasing tension, activating and finding your ranges of motion. Now all the way up into those toes. We're going to push put our feet right under our heels. And we're up on the pads of the feet, and we're just going to push into those toe joints. So our toes should be flat, and our weight should be in our toes. We're going to release a lot of tension here because our toes hardly ever hit this direction. So we use them for everything, every bit of balance when we're walking around. So just breathe into that big toe right now. Just focus on that joint. And then find your balance wherever you need to, but roll it into like the middle finger toe and the pointer toe and into the ring finger toe and into the little piggy that went home. And then roll back to the big toe and slowly drop the heels down to the floor. Slowly drop the heels down to the floor. Great. We're going to get in that wide stance again. I have to turn sideways for this because we're going to do a side lunge. So we got a nice wide stance. This is all up to your comfortability because you don't even have to do the full lunge. You're just going to shift the weight over and wake up the groin, keeping this knee and this hip back so that's perfect alignment because my quad is activated, my glutes carrying weight, and my knee isn't getting the pressure, which is the apex of this joint. If it goes over here like that, that's putting more pressure. So we got to keep it back. And we're slowly going to stand up, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stretching this groin, putting the weight in this glute, quads activated, and you're opening the groin slowly. Stand up, and back over to the other side. Slowly finding your strength in all these balancers. I'm coming all the way down, chest lifted. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the other side. Chest is lifted, open groin, hamstring, and find your strength. Keep the chest up. Back over to the other side. Forward fold, butt back, hands on the mat. Relax, and you can go heel toe slowly in towards the hips. Making sure to shift the weight into one hip and pull the groin down towards the mat on the side that you're tilting away from. Keep twisting the hips. These hips are what needs to twist from side to side to get the groin in the back of the glute. Lifting the toes. Finding a side. Maybe doing an opener to the side wall. Other side. Coming up to half. Pushing the weight right into the hamstring, glute meeting area. Slowly gonna heel, toe, heel, toe. Flip in the knees, open the chest, and we're gonna stand up nice and tall. Beautiful. Now we're gonna do a little high lunge. We're gonna find our balance spot. So that means that we're not too wide, but not too close, because we have to have a 90-degree angle on the front knee, and this back knee needs to slowly drop down. So just make sure as you're going back that you're pushing that foot back. So we're just going to stay in a high lunge, chest open, hands up to the front wall. Slowly dropping the foot back, feeling the stretch in the hip flexor, but keeping the chest lifted, toes up to the ceiling, heels in, knees back over the ankle or over the heel. And slowly dropping into your high lunge, keeping the chest lifted. If you need to grab your knee, that's perfectly fine. That's beautiful because you're putting more weight into the middle of this quad. Right now it's equally distributed. We're going to go ahead and drop this back knee slowly. As we find the mat, use your chest on your knee, and then drop that back knee. Now we're going to turn this into a hip flexor hamstring stretch. So shift backwards. Inhale, we're coming right, keeping our hips right center. We're keeping the knee underneath our shoulder. Hip flexors relaxed, and that's where the stretch is now. Toes are lifted, relaxed. Heel is nice and grounded. Chest is lifted, and we're shifting back as we exhale. Hamstring stretch. And hip flexor stretch. Hamstring. Hip flexor. Back toes curl up under the shin. We are going to lift into a high lunge and slowly push our left foot back and bring our right foot underneath our shoulder, over our heel. Toes are lifted, and we're going to start off with a low lunge. And we're slowly going to lift our chest. Weights in the heels, back is activated, glutes are tight, core is engaged. We lift into high lunge. Beautiful. Lift that front toe, working all the balancers. Core is nice and engaged. Hands to the front of the room, and you're slowly just going to work on stretching right here in this hip flexor. Hands lifted. If you need to use your knee, that's gorgeous. Slowly dropping lower as you feel comfortable. Bringing the chest down to the quad, finding the mat, dropping the knee last, flat toe in the back, shifting into a hamstring stretch. Chest stays right over the quad, hips are squared with shoulders. Exhale. Backward, just a wall. Shifting the way back, releasing all the tension in the hips. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Just see that hip flexor nice and loose and relaxed. That is your strongest ligament in your body. Shifting back. We're going to go ahead and pull this heel here straight back behind us. And we're going to come into all fours. What I'm doing, what y'all doing? On all fours, knees directly under the hips. And we're slowly going to do some little circles with our spine. Shifting the intercostal space, shoulder to hip. Other side when you're ready, shoulder to hip. Maybe looking over at your side, pulling the hip over. Now, as you come to neutral, we're going to slowly push the mat away from us. Activate all the muscles in the back. C shape, but roll those hips up to the front room. Really push into those upper rhomboids. Moving with freedom. Shifting the weight back into the hips. Right over the knees. Coming into a freedom cat. Cow. Just having fun and releasing the tension that we have from being in the opposite of this direction, or a quarter option. It's like standing up is like, yeah, whatever. You can really push. Hands are nice and loose, but heels of the hands are dug in up into the rhomboids. Hips coming towards the elbows. Push back in. Tailbone up towards the sky. All right, y'all. That's all I have time for tonight. It is late, but I had a long day, and I appreciate the energy and the check-in and the love. I constantly just remind myself that doing what I love is what my purpose is, and that gives me the energy to share, and I love to share. So my YouTube channel is Team Falcon 8. If you subscribe and follow, I will have all of the videos that I've done the last few months posted up for free. And once I start a training program that I can actually keep up with, that'll all be on there. It's important to spend a lot of time on strength and balance and flexibility. And then it makes sense to start to move faster when your body's strong. And then working your heart isn't so hard. You only have to max your heart rate twice to get a cardiovascular workout in. So you only have to really go hard 2 times in an hour. And everything else should be training your body to last all day long, in my opinion. As you're walking around all day long, holding that core in is what supports your spine. So it's a good idea to be flexed most of the time, and relaxing when you're laying down so that you don't lose your posture. Keeping the shoulders lifted and always saying that you're the tallest person in the room with your shoulders lifted. I'm going to go now. I'm Caroline, and on Instagram I'm MissFitCB _ between the Miss and Fit and CB. And then Team Falcon 8 on YouTube. You guys have a good night.